World War I marked a first in many fields. The first use of certain weapons. Introduced by the British Army, the tank made its battle debut at the Somme in northern France in September 1916. The Germans had already launched the first poison gas attack in Belgium in April 1915. Fighting took on new forms in 1914 with the first great aerial battles, and in 1915 when the Germans began a campaign of submarine attacks in the North Sea. The face of modern warfare changed as armies traded more than 1.3 billion artillery shells and large-caliber weapons like Germany's Big Bertha gun. Bombings accounted for 70% of all military deaths. A first in medical history. The widespread use of protective metal helmets didn't stop the casualties. Soldiers returned from the front line crippled, poisoned, blind and disfigured. Tens of thousands suffering from horrific facial injuries benefited from considerable surgical advances with the introduction of skin grafts and implants. The modernization of sanitary systems helped improve care for the millions wounded, and psychology helped to treat the hundreds of thousands of soldiers suffering from traumatic stress. A first mass media war. Nations at war created censorship and propaganda offices to control information. Posters, newspapers, comic strips, photographs and the developing field of cinema were used as tools to boost national pride and vilify the enemy. Censors, meanwhile, tracked down subversive groups in theatres and concert halls. The first total war. As men headed to the front line, women stepped into their jobs, driving trams, delivering coal or working in ammunition factories. Many found a first taste of freedom, adopting traditionally male-dominated roles. A first international organisation. Founded in 1919 after the war, the League of Nations, later to become the United Nations, failed in its mission to prevent a Second World War. And what was supposed to be the war to end all wars was the root of what is described as the 20th century's first genocide, when large-scale massacres of Armenians in the dying days of the Ottoman Empire left up to 1.5 million dead.